Juve have had this incredible unbeaten streak in Serie A where many times they haven't played well, but they've won. Here, I thought they played well. I thought they attacked. They went for it. They should have had more out of the game. They've got some grievances as well. And yet, they lose. Shoes on the other foot here.
You can't fault a single player, Gab, Stewart. It was one of them games where every player that stepped onto that pitch last night put in a brilliant performance. Juve, I thought, were very unlucky that they never come away with anything from the game because that's the best I've seen them. The intensity was there. They were closing down. They were winning the 50-50s. They were getting balls into Dybala's feet. Morata looked very sharp. Vlahovic had chances. It was just a brilliant game of football. It was wild. But from Juve's point of view, to come away with 0 feels a little bit harsh from them, but some away performance from Inter.
It finished 1-0 to Inter, and the only goal came towards the end of the first half. Quick recap for it. Alexandro and Morata is coming together with Dumfries. I thought it was a soft penalty. Went to VAR. VAR gives the penalty. Çalhanoğlu from the spot. He has his penalty saved. Then he runs, he puts in the rebound, but then somehow that goal gets disallowed, and there's confusion, it's not clear, and then VAR says, no, take the penalty again because Matthijs de Ligt was in the box. Which he takes it again, he buries it in the box. Now, by the law, that whole procedure is correct. It seemed a bit weird to me, but apparently the guy being in the box trumps anything that happens afterwards, and it's not like you can give advantage on it. That's something I discovered last night. I am not a referee. But I want to ask about the penalty because that is the big sticking point. Adrian Rabiot, very harsh about it. We found out later the penalty was given because VAR spotted essentially a stamp on Dumfries' foot, his foot coming down on top of Dumfries' foot. Don, it still felt soft to me, but apparently that's the IFAB directive.
Yeah, it was a nightmare for myself and Adam Summerton commentating on the game because there was so much going on. And you're right. When Morata, and you used the word stamp, it wasn't a sort of stamp. He was trying to get his body across, but his foot then caught the laces of Daniel Dumfries, and he then caught him. And then there was so much going on because it took 5 or 6 minutes for the referee and the VAR team to try and spot. And we only had 1 or 2 angles and replays of it. And my initial thought, like you, Gab, I thought it looked soft. And it looked really soft. And only when you see more pictures and more evidence, then I think it leans more towards being a penalty. But it was the whole confusion what happened after that. So that you're right in saying in order what happened. But initially when Szczesny made the save, the referee then blew from a foul as the ball went over the back of the line and into the net. The referee blew from a foul from Çalhanoğlu, and you're thinking, I don't see a foul there from Çalhanoğlu. I don't see a foul whatsoever. Then the VAR guys give the referee more information that de Ligt was inside the box and he was the player that then put the block on, which was 100% correct. So it was the whole procedure that took time and took emotion, which was incredible. And Max Allegri, the pictures of Max Allegri taking his jacket off and throwing brilliant. It was incredible.
That was brilliant. Robbo, I just want to get you on this because anybody who's played football at any level knows that sometimes your foot will come down and you'll step on somebody else's foot. This directive, this kind of this blanket directive that, look, whether it's violent or not, you are impeding the other person when you do that, so it's a foul. Does that feel right to you?
Not really, because, as Don just said, if it's a stamp and a stamp that's done on purpose, then it should be a foul and it probably should be a yellow card. It should be a penalty. But when it's an accident, when it's just your stride taking you onto the other person's foot, that's not always a foul. It can't always be a foul.
But you can't use the benchmark, is it an accident or not? Because when you go for an honest tackle, you're presumably not trying to foul the other person, and yet it's still a foul, right? If you impede his progress. That's what makes it difficult.
But when two players are as you run and you're lifting your foot up and putting it back down again, there'll always be sometimes where you're vying for the same spot on the grass. I think it was a very, very soft penalty. I
agree. It didn't feel right to me, Don. And and I think this is one of those things. I'm pro VAR, but this is one of those things that in a pre-VAR world, I don't think that ever gets called. No. Also because the referee's not necessarily looking for that. He's looking for contact further up. It's easy to be unsighted when it's down on the ground. I want to ask you where this leads into the title race. Milan playing this evening. Of course, they're top of the table, level with Napoli on 66 points. Inter 3 points back. They have the game in hand. Did Inter look like potential champions to you, or is it fair to say that their bad run of form continues despite the 3 points.
No, they look like champions to me. I mean, I know their form was pretty bad. I was looking at the numbers before the game, guys, and it was unbeaten in 7, scoring 22 goals at the start of the season. And their last 7, only 1 win, 2 clean sheets. Apart from the 5 against Salernitana, they'd not been scoring goals. They were bang out of form. Arrigo Sacchi, the great Arrigo Sacchi, was calling for Inzaghi to change to a back 3, to go to a back 4. He's the oracle on tactics, not me. And then they went away. Last night. And it was that performance that Stu will understand when you're away from home in the Lions' Den and you've got to graft and you've got to fight and you've got to survive the first 20 minutes, half an hour. And Inter only just done that, but they showed great willingness and great spirit to stay in the game. And then they got the penalty just on half time. Second half, they played so much better. There was a little bit more freedom about them. The 3 guys in midfield, I thought, kept the ball really, really well. One of Barella's best games for quite a while. Chanalolu got his goal. And they mixed it up quite well. They knew when to go long. They knew when to play short into midfield. So as away performances go, in a difficult environment, in a hostile environment, top-class performance from Inter.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.